One other big thing that happened today, and something that I've been kind of sort of paying attention to, but just in the background, but just for completion's sake, yeah, Darrell Brooks was found guilty on all 68 counts that he ended up facing. Motherfucker's gonna be going away for a long-ass goddamn time. I'll be probably covering the sentencing hearing, because that's gonna be buck wild. He didn't quite do the level 4 chimp out that everybody was kind of anticipating, because he made the trial a complete sideshow at multiple points. He just kind of sat there with his hands crossed, knowing that his life is fucking over. It's been resigned to a jail cell somewhere in upstate Wisconsin. Good fucking place for him. Well, frankly, I think that we could probably all agree that Wisconsin repealing the death penalty a while back was probably a bit of an issue, maybe at least, okay, a little premature in this situation. But when sentencing gets scheduled, because that wasn't figured out here today, there's going to be a bunch of victim impact statements, and that's going to be a motherfucker to watch through, so I'm not looking forward to that part. I just want to see if anybody's going to try to simp for this dude to give him a possibility of parole sometime in the future. I wouldn't put it past this fucking dumbass judge, Jennifer Doro. Terrible fucking judge. Weak as all hell. I could anticipate her just sitting back over the next couple of days or weeks, however long it's going to take. It would just be a cruel bit of irony if the sentencing went down on November 21st, exactly a year later from when the massacre happened. It's highly possible it could happen, but in on or around that area, we're probably sitting at about anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks before sentencing happens. But in a stroke of pure sympatitude, her giving him the possibility of parole isn't completely off the table, and this dude's gonna appeal literally everything, even though the entire trial was conducted completely 1000% by the books. I didn't watch every waking second of it, mostly because it was incredibly fucking boring at most parts. He was doing a lot of time wasting. He was asking a bunch of nonsensical, circular questions, lodging retarded objections, but hey man, he tried to prolong it as long as possible. The trial was laid out for 6 weeks. It ended up wrapping up in 3. Sucks to suck, you murdering cunt. Anyways, moving right along to somebody who's in about the same mental headspace as Darrell Brooks. John Fetterman. This dude is fucking done between the ears. Holy. You could see why he tried to kick the can down the road and miss and fall and land on his fucking dome. When it comes to debating, Dr. Oz, who for all his fucking stupidity, that dude just had to fucking show up on the stage, but no, he delivered one of the dumbest fucking statements. We're gonna have a few clips to listen here today, but here was his contribution, and this dumb motherfucker, if you didn't just trip over your goddamn dick, you would have appreciated everybody, okay? Or you would have been an appealing choice for people who are questioning if you're gonna be a decent Republican senator, because it's game over for Fetterman at this point. Anybody who's paying attention to this debate, it tipped the scales in Oz's favor, unfortunately here. So he was asked about abortion, okay, and what's his position for establishment or even mega Republicans, because this motherfucker is just going to be a part of the uniparty when it's all said and done. Everybody had the ideas that he was more than likely going to line up with the Mitt Romney, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, but fucking old Roblox Dome is going to get the big yeet in November here in a couple of days, so don't worry about any of that stuff. But I guess he's just going to slot in fucking nicely. Ugh. Out with one, in with another. But here was his, dude, you had an easy W right here, and you fucked it all away. What the hell is wrong with you? Oz says his abortion position, okay, should be between a woman, her doctor, and the local political leaders. Hi, what about the fathers in these situations? Oh, okay, they have nothing to do about that. And then what about, I don't know, what about the life of the kid that's going to get fucking crushed up and sucked out by Dr. Hoover? Anything about that? No, it's all about what a woman wants out there, you fucking simp. But yeah.
I want women, doctors, local political leaders, letting the democracy that's always allowed our nation to thrive, to put the best ideas forward so states can decide for themselves.
And local political leaders. Oh, okay, cool. Like, even if you just had a woman and her doctor up there, that would have been bad enough for your fucking base. But then to just throw in, you want the government to control people's medical rights and privileges? Cool, we just had to deal with that for the past 18 months. Big fucking oof there. But if it wasn't for your, witless counterpart on the stage, oh, Lord have mercy. This was troubling, embarrassing, pathetic, sad, All of those things, whatever you want to put, because this dude from the get-go, he was already stumbling and stammering that would make Joe Biden go fucking oof. But Fetterman is not even close to being fine. Fetterman is fine, is exposed as one more media hoax. We got a couple of John Nolte articles, and I figured it's time to check in with Breitbart here for most of this coverage because, yeah, man, they're coming with the heat on this. Tuesday night's disastrous and heartbreaking Pennsylvania U.S. Senate debate has exposed the corporate media's Fetterman as fine talking point as a hoax. This poor man, who no one loves enough to protect his dignity, sounds like a current theme in the Democratic Party, had a devastating stroke in May, just days before he won the Democratic primary. It's not like he was a cunning linguist before all this stuff went down to begin with. He was always just kind of a lumbering fuck. Now his vocabulary is caught up with his stunning good looks. Rather than find a well-known Democrat to take Fetterman's place with a write-in campaign for general election, 4 moral obstinances followed. Rather than get Fetterman the rest and intense rehabilitation he so desperately needs, number 1, the Democrat Party chose to risk the long-term prospects of Fetterman's recovery to put him on a grueling and stressful campaign trail. Oh, he's going to be on a trail. Where's Darrell Brooks when you need him? Fetterman's campaign chose to risk his health by putting him on the campaign trail. Yep, and Fetterman's mercenary wife, Giselle. Wow, that's a diabolical name now, isn't it? Chose power, wealth, and fame over protecting her husband's health and dignity. And number 4, the media launched the Fetterman is fine hoax to mislead Pennsylvania voters into believing a man is in no condition to hold any job, much less a U.S. Senate seat, is healthy enough. In a previous piece, I've already addressed 1 through 3. Now it's time to talk about number 4. Number 4, about the godforsaken liars in the corporate media. Why not? Why not? Some 5 months ago, when it was obviously a devastating stroke that this poor man may never fully recover from, we saw what happened at last night's debate. We all saw truth, and we'll see it. We'll play some clips out there. I don't want to just read his words because we need to let him say them, stammer through them, rumble through them by himself. He's not cool enough to be on Rumble. It's just a turn of phrase. We all saw the truth that even when Fetterman's using a crutch, closed captioning, he is very tough. Oh, he's in very tough shape. His scrambled brain cannot compute what he hears. Yeah, and even when it does, he repeats it over and over and over again to a very embarrassing level. Like, it's tough to watch. It's like, just please sit this giant man down so he doesn't collapse and kill everybody in his wake. When Mehmet Oz, a Republican nominee for U.S. Senate in Pennsylvania, was trailing his opponent in the polls and fundraising a few weeks ago, he resorted to a desperate tactic to get an upper hand in the ever-tightening race, leveraging ableism against a person with disabilities. Disability advocates are accusing NBC News of ableism, following an interview with Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman, the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, which they say was overly concerned with a live transcript he required during the sit-down due to his auditory processing issues. Oh, but don't worry, his wife was sat right next to him. I did a video on this one anyways. John Fetterman's accommodation requests revealed the bias we still have against disabled people. Are you fucking kidding me? These are different articles that are out there just trying to escape from the fact that this dude's brain looks a lot like a fucking scrambled egg. In his willingness to be public about his recovery, Fetterman proves he can do the job. He forces us to examine our own beliefs and biases with people, or about people with disabilities. Yeah, they've reconciled it so well, in fact, that there's one in the Oval Office right now. CNN's chief medical correspondent, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, always known for being the most truthful and honest person, just ask Joe Rogan, claimed Wednesday that a Democratic lieutenant, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm Canadian, I'll say lieutenant. That's the only time that you're going to hear that anyways. John Fetterman of Pennsylvania was fairly fluent while speaking. We'll listen to you decide here. But it was enough to convince the likes of Joy fucking Behar. The views Joy Behar claims Dr. Oz violated his Hippocratic oath is so funny. Now, after this debate, now the media's starting to attack somebody who used to be probably still is in some form or fashion, on their fucking side. Unbelievable. A day after they just got roasted by Ted Cruz in real time in 4K. Hilarious. If you haven't seen that, you just go and run that back, because he just sat there and fucking put them on blast, especially when it came to, what were they talking about, January 6th or something like that? Oh, Whoopi Goldberg was getting animated, and he was like, no, just shut down. Hey, did you supply Ted Danson that shoe polish? Okay, shut your fucking mouth. But what's her big brain rationale on this one? You always, whenever you see Joy Behar in a headline, you know she's going to have a galaxy brain, bottom of the barrel take. Media pundits rushed to the defense of Pennsylvania Senate hopeful John Fetterman's tumultuous debate performance on Tuesday night against Republican celebrity Dr. Mehmet Oz. Republicans, a bit of a strong term, but to each their own. It was their first and only in-person matchup, and it provided more cannon fodder than anybody needed. Fetterman, 53. That was a hard 53, is suffering some lingering speech and auditory impediments. I know somebody who actually, you know what, hey man, kind of a similar time. Oh no, about a year ago, similar time frame. May though, in 2021, had a stroke about that same time. Not even close. Irrecognizable. Cannot even compare the two when it comes to auditory and overall cognitive processing capabilities. Like Fetterman's fucked. Hate to say it, but that's just the way it is. But that's the Democratic Party right now. That fucking bench is empty, okay? Everybody is bailing on the party. You don't see high profile Republicans saying, I just can't be a part of this party anymore. And they're just jumping ship, okay? Sure, there's a comfy position over there, but they just can't deal with the constant struggle sessions. But you see a lot of people, anybody who's left over there on the Democratic Party side, they're all fucking leaving. Like, they're the opposite of Jordan Belfort, okay? They are fucking leaving. You don't need a wrecking ball to come in here and take me out of here. We're fucking leaving. He at times struggled to get through his hour-long debate with Oz, with his delivery often halting and choppy. Oh, so just like Hassan Piker, I'm coming to. Anyways. His celebrity rival, meanwhile, turned on the charm as he honed in over 13 seasons on his show. Yeah, that's why he's a good campaigner. That's why I thought he was a decent choice. I was out there, just his politics are fucking whack anyways. He was going to have the upper hand whenever he took the stage against Fetterman. He just didn't realize that this dude's old fucking mushmouth reincarnate. Oh well. The next day, The View co-host Joy Behar accused Oz of violating his Hippocratic oath as the surgeon for the political attacks against his Democratic rival. All right, kids, strap in. The Republican Party is running a bunch of ads about showing Fetterman stumbling on those things because of a stroke. What kind of doctor is behind that? Aren't they supposed to do no harm? Bitch, it's a fucking debate. He was obviously going to take his ideas, as bungle-fucked as they were, try to make something of it, and then throw it back in his face, and if he's too stupid or too impaired to fucking catch it and bat it back, sucks to suck, I guess. She denounced Oz as a celebrity with no real political experience, which he is, and which he doesn't have any. That's a fair assessment, but the last time you guys went so hard on somebody who was a celebrity with no real political experience, he fucking won the presidency, so be careful what you fucking wish for, you dumb old bag. Let's get to some of the statements. They're tough to watch, like, it's kind of fucking sad here, okay? So what qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? The first question of the night, and oh boy, strap in, folks.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.
Oh.
I'm running to serve Pennsylvania. He's running to use Pennsylvania. Here's a man that spent more than $20 million of his own money to try to buy that seat.
Yeah.
I'm also having to talk about something called the Oz rule. That if he's on TV, he's lying. He did that during his career on his TV show.
He's on a good roll.
He's done that during his campaign about lying about our record here. And he's also lying probably during this debate.
Oh, Lord. What the fuck was that? That was 30 seconds. This dude can't just go an uninterrupted 30 seconds just on some... Like, he'd already have that idea, okay? You'd think that, okay, what makes you qualified for this position? That was obviously going to be the first question. But he couldn't memorize, okay? He couldn't even get close to what he was going to say just right at the front of his mind. And he immediately came out. Like, you could understand. This is going to be your first debate. This is going to be the most publicized your campaign is going to be at any point in time, okay? You could forgive him for saying, okay, hello everyone and good night. It's a little bit fucking cringy, it's a little bit fucking pathetic, but you can kind of forgive him for that. But for the multiple, a guy had 20 bar seat. Oh, it wasn't quite that bad, okay? Like, that was, you know, he got off on definitely the wrong foot. He definitely missed the bed when he rolled out of it in the morning, but this, I don't even know what to say about this one.
I do want to clarify something. You're saying tonight that you support fracking, that you've always supported fracking, but there is that 2018 interview that you said, quote, I don't support fracking at all. So how do you square the two?
Okay, simple question. Look at, no, he's shaking his head.
I do support fracking.
Okay.
And I don't.
No. Oh no.
I support fracking, and I stand,
oh,
and I do
God.
support fracking.
No. Why are you making this man do this? Oh my God, there's a 2018 clip. They handed it up to you. Yes, my opinions have changed at that point in time. Studies show we're looking at a more, you know, climate relevant policy that we're trying to push or whatever the fuck. You could find a way to make it more flowery than that. We're looking for, you know, carbon neutral, whatever the fuck the current thing is. Okay, climate neutrality, climate responsibility. You can put it in some form or fashion like that. Okay, pander to your base a little bit. We got a green platform that we're pushing. As it goes, in 2018 things were a little bit different. Now we're moving towards a much more, you know, environmentally aware future for Pennsylvania, something that, you know, Oz isn't concerned about because the dude doesn't even live here. You can continue to just run it back because that's the only talking point that I recall from your campaign. But instead you're like, I don't like fracking. I don't like fracking. And I don't like fracking. Duh! Like, what are you doing, my guy? Okay, like, I didn't listen to the rest of the, you know, debate or anything like that. And if these are going to be the most popular clips that are making the rounds out there right now, there is absolutely nothing. There is nothing that they can do about this in this point in time. That's why they didn't want to do the fucking debate. That's why Katie Hobbs down in Arizona, okay, for the gubernatorial debate, because she would be going up against somebody who is charismatic, somebody who does have the right politics, somebody who does know how to capitalize on the incoming movement of the Republican Party, okay? Running against Kari Lake, who's going to be an excellent governor. Please don't suck. But I know I'm putting faith in a woman. But she doesn't want, Katie Hobbs doesn't want to debate Kari Lake because, well, I don't think she's had a stroke or anything like that. She might have lost a foot to diabetes or something like that. But, you know, nothing of that level of import that Fetterman is currently working through. Like, that shit is sad as fuck. But, bro, you got to face facts. You're not fit for this job, okay? You should be making some sort of a recovery. But the only time that anybody has seen you out in public, you have your wife by your side. She's doing a lion's share of the talking or processing, and you're allowed to just give whatever response you come up with during the edited portion of the fucking interview. You're not all there. This isn't going to get any better. Shame on your family for making you run on this one, okay? And yeah, now it's starting to reflect in the public because it's like, oh fuck, that's what they were hiding? Ooh. Betting odds have shifted 20 points in favor of Oz after the debate. Which is kind of sad because this dude sucks. That's why I've been seeing, you know, all of the campaigning has been Fetterman's dumb. Fetterman's mentally not there anymore. Fetterman's, you know, he kind of has a sketchy past when it comes to race relations, but we just put that to the back burner or anything like that. Don't take a look at anything that, you know, happened before the stroke. But this dude is overall sketchy, but now you just compound that with the fact that the old ticker's not talking anymore. That's why the betting odds are what they are. Just, you know, hey, a couple of weeks out from from the election. The debate between Democrat Fetterman and Republican Oz Tuesday night shifted the betting odds 20 points in favor of Oz, according to Predicted Betting Market. Before the debate started, Oz was favored to win the Pennsylvania Senate by 53 cents. Okay. After the one-on-one, those odds dramatically changed. Wednesday morning odds showed Oz favored 64 cents, an 11-point swing. Fetterman saw his betting odds trend down from 48 to 39 cents. Holy, a 9-point swing. So if you're like, I don't do any betting or anything like that because gambling is fucking haram, but I know the way this shit works. So for every 39 cents you lay down, you have the ability to win 100 cents. Okay. Like that's the returns that you get. I think that's the way that it works, okay? Or you get 1/3, yeah. No, because he wouldn't be favored at all. Yeah, that's the way that shit works. Anyways, since August, Fetterman's odds have decreased 36 cents. 39 cents to 75 cents. Yeah, exactly. When Oz was coming out and he's like, oh, you really kind of campaigned on that whole Trump endorsement that you received, and then the moment that you won a very hotly contested primary election, you just decided to scrub all of the references off of there. And then, oh yeah, when you started to wane in the political polls, then you started to piggyback off of a Doug Mastriano rally and a couple of other high-profile elections in the area. Oh, very nice, very nice. Nobody's excited about voting for him, okay? That's for true, okay? But now that the betting odds have swung so dramatically, now that everybody sees that, oh boy, this whole Fetterman dude's a little bit unelectable, how are you possibly going to make sure that this is going to be a fair election? Well, guess what? Oh, Pennsylvania's at it again, my friends. Acting PA Secretary of State warns of delays in counting midterm votes. You can't fucking make this shit up now, can you? We'll just read a little bit of this. On Monday, Pennsylvania Acting Secretary of State M. Chapman revealed that there will likely be delays in posting results of the state's midterm election. I fucking wonder why. Chapman detailed in a virtual news conference how the state would likely be handling counting the upcoming votes in the upcoming elections, said that they will likely take several days to count and certify the votes. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's all right. Pennsylvania is normally known for just having a lot of transparency, nothing going wrong with their electoral system or anything like that. Definitely things have been running smoothly over the past, let's run this back, 20 months, everything has been fine. Before that, though, it's a different story, but they are laying the groundwork out here. You can see the polls right now. You can see the shifts going on. So let's see if that reflects everything appropriately come the 8th. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.